on, guys? Should be live now, I think. Should be working. And thanks for joining. Let's take a quick look at what the markets are doing tonight. What do you think about that? So I'm just trying to get all my stuff open. I had to restart my computer again because, well, not again. I mean, I have to restart my computer about once a month because it starts to screw up. So it started to screw up today. So I had to restart. And now everything is not where I left it. And I'm trying to work on this again. So. All right. Okay. Who's on here now? We got one on YouTube. Oh, what's going on, Ann? Heidi, thanks for joining. I assume you guys might like to talk about some BTC price action and see where we're going here. I've actually been pretty bearish in my analyses so far. There's a few mixed indicators going on right now. So anyway, I guess the only way I can really go into it is if I just kind of get straight into a screen share, right? So at any time, guys, if you'd like to learn some more about technical analysis, you want to learn, all the tools that I use every day in my trading in order to be profitable, cointrademastery.com, register for an account. The first thing you're going to want to do right after you take advantage of the pre-launch pricing is to join the CoinTrade Mastery Discord server and get in on our Discord chat. That way there we can talk about trading all day long. Besides that, guys, take advantage of the pre-launch pricing. Grab yourself the CoinTrade Mastery trading course so you can learn about all of the tools and indicators and all the cool stuff that I use. Chuck, thanks for joining. Anyway, I don't want to dwell on that. I don't want to bore you guys. We might as well just jump straight into a screen share. Perron, thanks for joining. Okay, what's going on here? Let me just configure myself. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Everything's all screwed up over here. All right, let's get in there. There, screen share should be working now, I think. Yeah, okay. So here's BTC. I'm looking at the 15-minute chart right now. I think I'm going to start with the 15-minute chart this time, okay? I've been very, very bearish. Made a little bit of money playing short positions throughout today, yesterday. Pretty good. And now we're sitting here with the kind of a double bottom pattern going on where we may actually get to see a little bit more upside action out of this. Now, I do have my concerns with it as well. So we do have some mixed indication going on here. All right, but let's take a look at this. Okay, so the number one thing you should be seeing when you look at this chart is boom, 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 boom. Okay, with a possibility of going this direction. And the deciding factor will be at this level. Okay, and this is still developing. Okay, a double bottom reversal. Okay, if you're part of CoinTradeMastery.com, you've probably already been through the chart pattern section where I talk about, or sorry, I don't think I've actually, yes, I did. That's one of the videos that I made very, very clear was double bottom and double top reversals. So if you are part of CoinTradeMastery.com, you have the trading course, you should know what this pattern is, right? And you should know how to measure it as well by kind of measuring your distance of your center peg here to your double bottom. And then basically extend that up above your center, your minor resistance here, and that should be your target. So in this particular case, the actual target is like 7,800-ish. But I have a few concerns, and I have a few reasons for why I don't think we're actually going to make that. And on this particular problem, on this particular pattern, sorry, something I want to be pretty clear about is that this pattern is not confirmed. And you do not enter to play this position until you cross this point. All right. Once you've crossed above this point, which is this price point, right? Once you've crossed above that, now it becomes a long play, right? So I'm definitely not FOMO'd into a long at this moment, and in fact, I'm still holding short. but it does look like we are going to get a little bit of more momentum out of this. Overall, I'm still short, guys, but we got RSI that's starting to come up here on the 15. It's going to get to the overbought area pretty soon. And I mean, that coincides here with our resistance point once again. So, like, and this isn't really a true double bottom. Like, there's a lot of price action with this wick. I guess this body of this candle right in here, these bodies are in line with the bottom of this wick. So it could constitute a double bottom, and it also could not. I guess there's some other bullish indicators on this chart as well, because we have our moving average cluster moving above our 55 EMA, as well as the 80 EMA moving over the 100 EMA. So, I mean, there's some movement there, but one of my main concerns is, all right, is like, look at here. Can I like, hang on. Let me just go like, get out of there. Just want to move this out of the way, okay? So what I'm looking at, I just wanted to move this chart up a little bit. You can see this really long wick. You see all this volume. We have all this volume in here, and then volume just kind of died right out. Okay? That's a concern of mine, right? What we should have had, if this was actually going to go up and this was actually going to pump, we should have seen some other volume spikes in here, okay? But we've gone dead right now, and it doesn't look like we're doing anything. So I'm not very optimistic on any kind of a confirmed double bottom bounce at this point. It doesn't really make any real sense to me at this moment. Let's just get rid of this stuff. Although the real point, like I said, is after we cross this point, and if we get volume, if we get a huge volume spike, big volume spike like this, upon exiting above this 7250 resistance line, okay, then we'll be looking a lot more bullish after that. Right now, like, I know the moving average trading strategy, like, it usually plays out okay, and it could very well right now. If you went long on the crossover, you are in positives right now. Am I going long right now? No, because when I zoom out, my bigger charts do not agree with this yet, right? So I'm really not too worried about trying to play a long play at the moment, because I really seriously, due to volume, due to our overall larger time frame market trend, I really think this is just going to be another dead cat bounce, just like this one was, just like all of this was. You know, like just like this whole big hump was. We're just narrowing down to smaller and smaller bumps at this point. We're actually, like, I don't know, I mean, this one could turn bigger, right? But I'm not playing against my larger time frames. So let me just kind of go in here. Let's check out a daily. Let me remove all my shit. Okay, so daily chart. Oh, and of course I don't have my other lines that I usually have up. So let's try to duplicate the chart that I had. Again, I had to restart my computer, so I no longer have the chart that I had with all my arrows in that. Okay, but right about there is where our trend was, okay? And I had said before is either A, we're going to bounce off the trend line. Whoops. Give me my arrow. Bounce off the trend line and go in the upward direction. Alternatively, we're going down and down to, I can't even draw it on this particular chart. I need to zoom it out. And I said down to about 6K. Okay. And that was kind of one of the lines that I had drawn on my chart when I drew it, right? And because we didn't bounce off this trend line, that leads me to a very, very, very bearish scenario. And even though we may get a bounce here and we may come up to 7,400, 7,500, we may just get up that high, guys. And then I think we're just going to turn around and keep going back in the bearish direction. I don't see, like, there's no real reason for us to bounce here. Okay. We have a little bit of volume, but our volume here, and this is again sell volume, right? But this volume isn't even as big as this volume. Okay, and like there's just really there's no indication here that we're supposed to bounce. Like we need a big green volume candle like this to say that we're gonna bounce anything significant. We don't have the buyers here yet in this zone. We still have sellers, not buyers, okay? So we're still bearish, all right? And then this 20K outlook, this 10K outlook and all that is just not really logical at this point. I'm a short market player right now. Okay, so I realize I'm just zooming my thing in and out here. Now the 4 hour does start to indicate where what I was saying, we might get a bounce in here, especially our RSI when you're severe overbought territory. Our MACD, actually, our lines look like we have our blue line here is starting to point up, so we might get a crossover on our signal lines. But again, like a crossover on your signal lines really doesn't mean much until you start getting a separation and a clear trend developing, right? Because over here, like on this down run that we've had multiple times where our MACD crossover happens, but you look at our histogram, which, you know, we don't get any meat out of our histogram. So like if you played on a MACD crossover, you would have had to have a stop loss set, you know, or else you lost money, right? So you know, very important things to consider. I guess on the 4 hour chart, this is the first time we were severely oversold since the this bottom over here at the 83.50 level. It was the last time that we're actually super oversold. And even on that bounce, what do we end up? We went from 83.50 to about 9,800, which is quite a hell of a pump. And over here in sort of similar proportions, I guess we could end up at 8K. But we do have also trend lines that are in play, right? We have this trend line, which could now act as resistance. But I mean, are we in a bounce? Like you zoom in on the lower time frames on the 15-minute, and yeah, it looks like we're in a bounce. We have double bottom. We had a lot of volume right here in the bottom, but volume's dying out. That's our negative indicator here. However, we do have the bullish indicator based on our moving average cluster moving above our 55 EMA and now triggering our 100 EMA, you know, as a bit of an extra confirmation. So sure, are we in a bounce? Probably we're in a bounce, but do I really think we're in a bullish market now? All of a sudden in the last 8 hours, we just all of a sudden develop a bull market? No, that's not the case, guys. Like it's still a bear's market out there. I don't see anything that indicates we're going to be in a bull market anytime soon, okay? And like I said, I was very adamant about this trend line right here, breaking below this trend line. I'm pretty well dead set on being in a bear's market well through 6K and probably down towards 5K. All right, and then figure out what the market's doing after that. That's kind of the overall direction I'm looking at. Now, if this bounce does take place, just kind of even on the 4 hour here, so likely if this bounce continues up, I'm looking for something larger than 7K. Preferably anything bigger than 7,200. If we clear 7,200, I would say that we are going to uptrend for a little bit, and our uptrend likely targets are 7,500. If not 7,500, we would target a 55 EMA, which will likely end up around 7,750, and if not 100 EMA, which would likely end up about 8K. All right, I really don't see us coming back up into this pattern and in order to retest our upper trend line, especially because this price movement here did not retest this upper trend line. Okay, so do I think we're in a bounce? Yes. Do I think our bounce is really going anywhere? No. If we make it to 8K, I think we went way too far on the upside. I'm a bear. I'm a bear right now. Rawr. Okay, guys. With that said, like, I don't even know if it's worth looking at. Oh, I don't have any other charts open because I restarted my computer. But I seriously don't think it's even worth charting anything else because the king says bear market. All right, even though we're bouncing, still says bear market to me. It doesn't really do it for me. What are we in here as far as? Oh yeah, this daily candle is only really just started, and that's fine, and it's coming up. And I mean, that's okay. That's why I think we're in a bounce, right? We've had our rejection candle. We've had our indecision candle, which I would have liked to see actually something more bullish on the second candle after rejection. Though we do have the third candle, today's candle, which is only an hour and 38 minutes old, severely on the upside, but not like when you move in, there's no like the volume, okay, is down here, but we're not getting any continuation on the volume, and I'm kind of scared for that. Our volume, even our moving average on our volume, is now down where kind of the low to nominal range is. It doesn't add up to a bounce to me. And that's about where I sit, guys. I'm just short playing right now. So anyway, do we have any questions out there in the chat? Okay, very cool background. Awesome. Butch, Chuck, Peron, moi, Patrick, Moon, thanks for joining, guys. What's up, Patrick? Cool, guys. Yeah, is there anything else you guys want to talk about here? Or else I'm just going to try and make this a short video, and I can get on with a few other things. I think I might actually play some vintage computer games tonight. Like super, super vintage, like 1990s. I love vintage computer games, guys. Don't see any questions coming in. All right, guys, then if there's no questions, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wrap up this video. So if you guys like to learn some more about technical analysis, like to learn about how I use my moving averages on my charts, how I use trend lines, support, resistance, all that kind of stuff, highly, highly, highly encourage cointrademastery.com, make an account, and sign up for the Discord channel so that we can talk trading all the time. And if you have any questions at all related to trading, the Discord channel is where you want to ask them, because I will answer any question there, whatever it is. Let's try and get that going. Moon says, have a look into Bytum Coin BTN. Okay, I'll have a look into it, but it's not anything that I can trade in USD. So I'm kind of like very, very, very much resistant against coins that I can't trade in and out of with USD at this point, because Bitcoin's wrecked and it's going to get more wrecked. And for that reason, I want to short trade. I don't want to trade long. And the only time that I like to go in super, super altcoins, shitcoins, ICOs is when I'm also long on Bitcoin. Otherwise, I'm going to lose money in the long run. So I will take a look at that though, sure. Is it cool? Like, what does it have that's going for it? I don't know anything about it. So any other questions, guys? Or I'm just going to wrap this up, make it a quick video. All right, well, I guess that's about it for me. Oh, Moon says 50% up now. Okay. If something's 50% up in the last like 24 hours, that's a definite sell for me. That's not something that I buy. You gotta always, when you're trading, guys, you gotta ask yourself this, all right? So you're trading, okay? And you're trying to decide what you should do. You should ask yourselves two questions, okay? Very, very important. Always ask yourself two questions. Is this a good time to buy? Okay, and try to answer that question. And then right after you try to answer that question, ask yourself, is this a good time to sell? Okay, so when I look at something and it says plus 50% on it, this looks to me like this would be a really good time to sell, right? And every time that something says this is a good time to sell, it cannot possibly be true on the opposite statement, okay? So if you ask yourself both of those questions, is this a good time to buy? Is this a good time to sell? You cannot answer yes or no to both of those questions, okay? The answer you can answer no to both of those questions. That is a possibility, okay? And you should do that sometimes. However, you should never be able to answer yes to both of those questions. It is never a good time to buy and a good time to sell. All right. And anytime you have a condition where it's a good time to sell, it is not a good time to buy. Right. So just remember that. It's kind of one of the things that I go on. I always try to answer when I'm looking at something and I see, it looks like something I want to FOMO into. I always look at it and I say, would this be a good time to sell? And I'm like, yeah, you know what? It's pumped over the last little bit, right? This is a good time to sell, so I don't buy it. Any other questions, guys? I know this one was really, really brief. But I'm sitting here, I gotta take my sweater off and that. I'm hot as balls sitting in front of these lights right now. I just want to turn them off. Yeah, okay, so if I don't see any other questions coming in, guys, I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap up this video right now. Love it that y'all come in. If you get some value to my videos at any time, feel free to share them. If you'd like to learn more about technical analysis, cointradermastery.com is the place that you want to do it. Until then, guys, if you like this video, that's what that button's for. If you don't like this video, I guess you can click that button. We'll give you a freebie on that one. And until next time, guys, we'll see you on the next video.